vote, gal. Follow the white line down the road. And we go jam, gal. Follow the alliance down the road, down the road. Follow the white line.
Good evening. I'm Silveria Jacobs, and welcome to another edition of the National Alliance television program. The National Alliance bringing you information on a weekly basis right here on St. Martin Cable TV every Monday at 9 p.m.
Follow the white line down the road. To the polls, gal. Follow the alliance down the road. And we go vote, gal. Follow the white line down the road. And we go jam.
Today's guest is none other than young, up-and-coming Emmanuel, Christopher Emmanuel, the man of the people. Good evening, Chris.
The man of the people. Nice.
You like that introduction?
Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds good.
Welcome to our program.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
Nice. It's nice to be here, though.
Right.
Feels good.
The television program has been running for a couple of weeks now, and bringing information to the people as well as introducing candidates, letting the people know who we still have running strong with the National Alliance. And I know you have your own forum. You are weekly on radio and with your internet programs, but we felt it imperative to also profile you here on the National Alliance program as one of the candidates we expect to grow in numbers, to really meet the need of a growing need that's out there with our constituents, our followers and supporters, and also to bring more supporters to the National Alliance camp. So, for those who may not know who is Christopher Emmanuel, I would like you to let our viewing audience know who you are, what do you stand for?
You know, whenever I get that question, is a rush of emotions that comes all the time. And it's unfortunate that I have to introduce myself in that manner, you know, but I can only do it from the framework of who I am, where I came from, and stuff like that. And I always tell people, you know, I am who I am, Christopher Emmanuel, son of the soil, you know, families from both sides of the island, if you want to put it at grassroots, right? But to get an indication so people can pinpoint, you know, who this young man is and his relations, I just always have to bring in a very tragic situation, a very tragic incident, you know. And by saying that, one time people would say, okay, that's the son she used to always talk about. This is the young man. So for those who don't know, Lillian Minerva Stephen, you know, teacher, politician, outspoken individual, was one of the sisters that tragically lost her life at Celebration Palace in a car accident with her sister. Well, Lillian was my mom, you know, and yeah, like I said, it's one of the sad things I just have to use to introduce myself all the time.
But also strong things, because that shows you're strong.
Very strong and very positive. I remember for Mother's Day, you know, everyone was putting up all sort of things about mom and stuff, and I was like, I don't know what I should do, so I'm just going to throw my mom pictures up and say, well, I don't know what to say, but that's my mom, and Mom, happy Mother's Day. I don't know if this is what I should have done. And one of the supporters, Kendall, said that is exactly what you should do, and that is exactly what you should say. You know, honor the ones that walk before you. Hence the reason why you're here. So what you see is what you get, you know. And I tell people, service above self. That is what I believe. It is something inherent in me, Silveria, to just want to help people. It bothers me, you know. It bothers me when you see injustice, and for the individual just can't speak. So I speak, and it may go against the status quo. It may go against what people don't like. Many people get upset with the things what I have to say, but I say the things that everybody wants to say.
And you are not afraid to say it.
And I'm not afraid to say it.
Let me interrupt you 1 minute. In case you've just joined us, this is a National Alliance television program. As I'm sure you're well aware, we come to you every week on Monday evening from 9 p.m. to bring you information, especially during this time, on the candidates we would like you to choose in this coming election. Today, we are talking to Christopher Emmanuel, Chris, son of the soil, complete of St. Martin, not of just the northern or southern side, but a true son of the soil, and as he just said it, grassroots. Grassroots. And you mentioned you're for the people, you want to speak for the people. In the past 4 years, because you've run 4 years ago.
Yes.
In the
yes.
past 4 years, though you have not had a seat in Parliament, how have you been speaking for the people?
You know, see, I'm going to call you silly because, you know,
I'm silly.
But silly, you know, you don't need to have a seat in Parliament to
Exactly
speak
what I wanted
for
to say.
the people. And, you know, anyone who knows Christopher know that my platform have been the same from since election started and from since election have ended. And here we are again,
4 years
another
later.
4 years.
So all the time in between.
In between, whether you hear me, well, most of the times you will hear me on the radio, on the SOS program. You remember in the backyard,
Correct.
We had many times I would host the programs for Lloyd. Then I started my own internet program, and then on the Tuesday night program with Fernando Clark and online. I am consistent with the things.
What time is your
that
internet
I said.
program?
Well, what
Give
happens
yourself your
now?
plug right now.
What happens now, right? I have over 300 and something programs on the internet, so I'm just replaying them. So there's not a set specific time. I just play them. I just go back on Facebook, and you can see all them, Christopher Emmanuel, and you can see. I even have you up on
Yes,
one of the
yes, I
programs,
was
which
your
was a
guest
very,
once.
which got some of the most views or the most likes on that
I
program.
wasn't even aware of that.
You know, but silly, you know,
use
come back
those
to the point.
venues.
Yes, come back to the point that you mentioned a while ago, right? Having a seat. The issue is not having a seat, you know. The issue is representing people. Come on, man. You know how I speak, you know, and you know how I feel, all right? And I talk about proper representation, all right? There are issues in this society, right, that people just is oblivious to what is going on. We're not paying attention
I want
to
to
the
jump right
social
there.
needs.
That issue, those issues.
Yeah.
And highlight the fact that the National Alliance is currently putting out its platform. Piece by piece, in order to give people a chance to read and digest. We have been consistent in putting out manifestos in the
Right,
past,
right.
and many look forward to that booklet, while others love to get it but don't read it. So we are putting it out in bullet point form, and starting with social media and the regular media. And once we have garnered enough feedback, we will put out the hard copy. And we have a deadline date, as the Electoral Council has stated,
Yes.
by postulation day. So we are trying to inform the people, and you talked about social issues. Social issues that are near and dear to your heart. I would like you to inform our viewing public.
You know what? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you exactly, right, my interests. And I say it all the time. I say it all the time. Christopher is looking for the complete alleviation, all right, of the fuel clause. It bothers me when I see it all the time. It humbugs me when I cringe. And I say to myself, I say, wait a minute. If you want to so-called call myself or yourself middle class, and every time you tear that bill and you open it and you look at it, and you see 250 guilders that your bill is, and then when you go over, you see 3 and 4, you're like, but how could this be? And then you say, but wait a minute. If I am having a hard time,
As a middle class
okay,
person.
because you have a job, your wife has a job, your income is together, and you're having a hard time, you can imagine. Just imagine someone else who's not in the position that you're in, okay? It bothers me every time I see it. I don't want it to
And
be
you're
there
specifically talking
anymore.
about the fuel clause in our electricity
In
bill.
our electricity bill.
So what
okay?
would be your solution to that?
You know what I tell people? I can't get it understand. It's mind-boggling to me, right? And I say it all the time. Mexico have 128 million people. They would send 4 people to Palatino. St. Martin have 60,000 people, 50,000 people. We send 13 people to Palatino. And you always ask the question, the reciprocity, what are we getting back? What do you bring back for us? You know, here's what I'm saying. And I like to put it out there because I like to challenge them. But wait a minute. The city of Sao Paulo in Brazil have 1.2 million people. That whole city, generators run on biodiesel. The whole city run on biodiesel.
Green energy.
Green energy. St. Martin got 60,000 people, 4 engines, and we still using heavy and light fuel in this day and age? heavy and light fuel.
So you're a proponent of going green.
Going green completely all the way. Get off of the diesel. But then you have to ask yourself the question, who benefits from it? It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a toss-up because they don't want it to go. But the people deserve a relief.
That is for sure.
The people deserve a relief, Sylvia.
And I think they deserve the transparency to also know these types of things.
You cannot have a government-owned company with $75 million in a surplus and the people get nothing back. This is the kind of money you're making off of 15, 14, 20,000 people with meters.
And we addressed this in previous programs over the past couple of weeks, the talk about relief for seniors and then the simplified manner you're doing it in which to fool the people.
Listen, I've said it all the time. If your intentions weren't good in the beginning, your intentions wouldn't be good at the end. And the intentions was never for the seniors in the beginning. So there's nothing good for the seniors at the end. All right? And I keep saying it all the time. There's a big issue right now. 5.5 million for 11,000 square meters of land, 55 million for a causeway, another 30 million for a building of a hospital, and we can't give the pensioner $1,000.
On that note, you are looking at the National Alliance television program right here on St. Martin Cable TV. You can contact us. Feel free to ask na@gmail.com. I'll repeat, feel free to ask na@gmail.com. Visit our Facebook page where you can see all our editions of the manifesto, articles connected to those points that can be elaborated on. Share your views, share the page, like the page. If you are a supporter of the National Alliance, or even if you just like what we're saying, we have enough time to convince you to get on board. Christopher.
You mentioned another issue that is concerning to me. I don't know if you get a chance to saw the last report that came out from the Labor Office in terms of employment amongst the youth. Silly, yes. It's at 60% unemployment among the youth under the age of 25. So we are looking from 18 to 25, if you still want to call that youth.
It is.
Right? 60%. 60% unemployment. Now, it's not to target a specific ethnic group of people, but listen, what is wrong with being real? What is wrong with saying something that is smack in your face and is the truth?
Say it.
And this is what I tell people. I'm not picking on anyone, but have you ever did a count from GEBE all the way up to South Reward, how many grocery stores we have lined up? Those people don't pay attention to those things. We have 22. Just from GEBE to South Reward, 22 grocery stores. But who are working in the stores? The employment. Look who are working. I am saying, take them from out of the trenches, because it seems as if all you have for our young people, all there is for the youth, are trench work. That's it. A trench work, and that's it. No. Create a plan. And this is the plan. We have our good girl Yadira Boston doing an excellent job with the GED program. All right? The unemployment amongst the youth is there for a reason. Most of them are out of school. Most of them have dropped out of school. Most of them don't have the necessary qualifications to hold an academic level job. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I am.
Listen, I'm just talking about from GEBE to the South Reward area, 22 stores. We ain't talking about Cold Bay. We ain't talking about Dutch Quarter. We ain't talking about Miller Region. We ain't talking about Sucker Garden. We ain't talking about Dung Belvedere. We ain't talking about Simpson Bay. We ain't talking about K-Bay. We ain't talking about Phillipsburg. You're over 200 grocery stores. This is a solution to alleviate unemployment amongst the youth. Imagine if you have 2 individuals, just 2, whether they are packing the shelves, whether they are pricing the shelves, whether they are doing the inventory, whether they are bringing in boxes. We are saying, allow the youth in the districts where these stores are at to get a little job on the minimum wage. A job. At least.
As a starting point.
At a starting point. We are talking 22 by 2, that's 44 youngsters off the street have a job. And when they're done with that, so they work from 7 in the morning until 5. They go home for 2 hours, they come, Do your GED classes. So you're not only just taking them and throwing them into a workforce. No.
So what I'm hearing coming from
Okay.
you, Chris, is promote jobs for youth in areas that already exist, that are not necessarily limited to being out in the trenches, as well as promotion of second chance education.
Second chance education. You give them the opportunity to continue their education. The GED classes are right there. She have it
Yep.
for $175 a month. GED classes. From there you can choose to go into college.
Correct.
Get yourself a degree. Lift yourself out of the trenches.
And even for those, because we have
Okay.
to also admit that not every person is college inclined or academic inclined, but we need a basic level of education
A
to
basic
get a
level of
basic
education.
job.
Silly, this is not a get off the block and get on the bus situation. This is hard facts. And this is something that can be done. This is something that Parliament can institute. Carissa did it.
Unemployment, youth employment programs,
Programs,
mandatory.
mandatory.
Correct.
In the districts, Parliament can do it. You know, meet the stakeholders, meet the people and say, listen, we need your help. You help us, we help you.
Correct.
Okay? You cannot have the youth just there being delinquent and doing nothing. You know why? Crime don't discriminate. One day it's going to come knocking on your door.
On your door. Correct.
One day, what are we doing?
We're speaking with Christopher Emmanuel, a passionate young man, a hardworking young man, a young man who does not wait until it's every 4 years to get out there and get the job done. I would like to give Christopher Emmanuel the opportunity at this point to say something pertinent to what this program is about, information, but also to let viewers know why you chose to run with the National Alliance.
You know, I said it last night on another program that was on. I can defend my position. Okay? And I'm asking the people of St. Martin to put the decks and stack them up equally. Put the decks, you know, and stack up the cards equally. All right? And when I look at the track record, when I look at things done in this society, right, I know I'm in the right place. In addition to that, I'm home. This is the house that I was brought up in. Okay? And it's good to be home. All right? But I have some pointers that I always point out. And I say the facts, you cannot argue with the facts because the proof is in the pudding. Right? Look at things that build this society. Silly. Okay? The harbor is there today because of the vision that the SPM, SPA, National Alliance government had. Okay? With a buyback. Way back then. With the harbor buyback shares.
Repeat that, because I don't think
Okay.
the generations today knows that.
This is the reason why we have that harbor today. It's not a make-up story, you know. It's not lies. No. These are facts. Lenny Priest, Commissioner of Finance in the SPM, SPA government. The harbor buyback shares made it possible for us to have that harbor today. When the boardwalk was being done, William said, but you're getting a boardwalk and we don't have the water rights. We didn't own the beaches, we didn't own the ponds, we didn't own the lakes, we didn't own the lagoon, nothing. I remember William slamming his hand on the desk and telling Miguel Purier, former Prime Minister of the Netherlands Antilles, transfer the water rights to St. Martin for a symbolic guilder. Transfer it for a symbolic guilder. When St. Martin was devastated
by the hurricane.
all our turnover tax was going down to the central government. William said, but at least 2% could come here. The rest of them laugh at him when he said he's going to take the central government to court. They laugh. He took the central government to court and won. That's why we have turnover tax here today. It was so good for this country, they raised it to 7.
Not the National Alliance.
Not the National Alliance.
Make that very clear.
Not the National Alliance. Emergency homes. They were emergency homes. They are still here today. People was living in tents, man.
And I would like to remind the people that these initiatives came from very short stints in government.
And okay, you know what? A few more minutes. This is what I'm saying to the people of St. Martin.
Yes.
Coalition governments doesn't work. And it's not going to work. You want stable representation, proper representation, there's only one political party that's going to give you what you need, what you deserve. Because I'm saying to myself, imagine 4 years. It's deserving of 4 years. And then we can be judged properly. Because in the back of the conscience of everyone know they never had a chance to govern a full term. Never. So it's an opportunity that we are asking. We are asking the electorate, listen, let us prove you wrong. 4 years, 1 term. And then we can be judged on an equal platform with those that had 20 and 40. It'll be fine enough for me.
Christopher Emmanuel is our guest, and as we wrap up the program this evening, a very interesting, passionate, and I must say he got me here jumping on my seat, and I'm hoping that all of you viewing are also feeling the excitement of this young and dynamic candidate of the National Alliance. And come postulation day, and thereafter, you will be seeing much more of this young man. So as we wrap up here today, I would like you to, we have a few minutes, recap who's Chris, why the persons who are looking at this should go and visit your Facebook page, learn more about you, visit the National Alliance page, the National Alliance, and like us up, but also to really read what we stand for,
Right.
and give us that 4 years to do more than the little we have done and initiated, because a lot has been opened in the past year, inaugurated, and become official. That was the initiative of this party. Chris, the floor is yours to sell you as a candidate for the National Alliance, for the people of St. Martin who are counting as first and foremost.
You know, Silly, I just say it all the time. There are those who don't like me because they can't buy me and they can't sell me because I'm not for sale. All right, what I'm asking the people of St. Martin is to work with a group of individuals that have the best interests of this country at heart. I can speak for me, but I'm part of a team. I'm part of a team, and I know the work that is being done. Silly, I see it all the time. And like I said, I can defend my position. I can defend my position as to the reasons why. The proof is in the pudding. I see the results in a short space of time. I see the results, okay? And I'm going to use an old phrase, because when there was dirt roads all over this country, and the roads was being paved and the roads was being done, there was a famous saying, you can't eat roads. Well, people of St. Martin can't eat a bridge. Cannot do it. 4 years is what we are asking, to govern this country into a different and a new direction. And that's what it is. I'm not going to come here and give a story to impress anyone. No, what you see is what you get. That's what it is, service above self. Straight to 8.
Straight to 8. We didn't hear
Straight
that
to
enough,
8.
but I know
Straight
that's your thing.
to 8.
Straight to 8. What do you
Straight
mean by
to
that?
8, because we need 8 seats. Coalition governments does not work. You're going to keep falling and breaking, falling and breaking.
Correct.
Straight to 8. Service above self. Thank you.
You've been listening to Christopher Emmanuel, the National Alliance Young Turk. That's a term that's been used over the years, and I
Yes.
think he's proud to be called a Young Turk. You've heard him here this evening, and you'll be hearing a lot more from him in the next 4 years, because we deserve that 4 years. And it was said in one of our articles, give us 4 to do more, because the National Alliance has done a lot for this country in short little spurts and jumps. And more people are realizing that when it comes to integrity, transparency, and all those beautiful words that now everyone knows, this has been our vision, our moral fiber from the very, very beginning.
Very beginning.
So when postulation day is here, the campaign will be full force. But until then, the National Alliance is the team that will put St. Martin first, has always put St. Martin first. And that's not just a slogan that we are picking up today. Moving forward with you, the people of St. Martin. See us on Facebook, visit our webpage, ask for that newsletter that will be coming to you, and we will contact you. The National Alliance is here for you. Come back again next week where we'll be bringing you more information. I'm Silveria Jacobs. Thank you so much for joining us here. See you next week.
Down the road, to the polls, gal. Follow the alliance. Down the road, and we go vote, gal. Follow the white line. Down the road, and we go jam, gal. Follow the alliance. Down the road.